any like decent subcompact for like a third more weight that holds
Have
tin
Speaking of
have you seen?
subcompacts, we are live. And welcome everyone to the much anticipated, not too long overdue session 2 of Deadlands, A Horse Behind You. The Horse Behind You. Apologies for last week. We had some unexpected emergencies come up, but we are back in action and ready to draw those 6-shooters and shoot them, perhaps fastly. Quickly? Anyway. But as is tradition, we're just going to go around the table, have everyone quickly introduce themselves, remind us of what character they are playing, and then we'll have a quick intro from myself, and we'll dive right into the proverbial action. We'll start with Atomic. We'll go Atomic, Blau, Professor Hex, and Zeb. Take it away, gentlemen.
Hey everybody, my name is Atomic, and I'm playing Matthias Ackerson, the Texas Ranger.
Howdy, everybody. I'm playing. Oh wow, sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm playing Roy Marshall, the guy with daddy issues.
I'm Professor X. I will playing Santiago Ferron, the action priest.
Love it.
What's going on, guys? I'm Zeb. I'm going to be playing Harper, our ex-outlaw.
Of course, I am Der Wolf, the Game Master. Always happy to be here with these 4 fine gentlemen. So in our last session, they had been in the town of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And long story short, they had met a man, and that man ended up dead. And we're really not going to go too much in detail about it, but he may or may not have been driven out of town because of a certain priest insinuating that he was into certain things that we will not repeat because yikes. Walking out of the town, leaving the city of Milwaukee, the posse hired by Miss Curtis begins a long journey to Bitter Creek, the site of a battle during the country-spanning civil war that bled over into the far west. Along the road, the hung and very dead body of Mr. Thompson is hanging from a roadside tree, a piece of paper with the letter P drawn on it and nailed to his chest as he slowly swings in the breeze. But it's been several days of travel over the open west into and towards the state of Iowa. And you've crossed along, and you've been following alongside this railroad that heads sort of southwest towards the city of Denver. And if you recall correctly, you guys are heading towards Bitter Creek. Now, the option, Miss Curtis had asked about the potential option of taking the train, but it was determined that going on horseback was better since the train can be, well, it's not reliable, I would say. There's many issues and certain strange occurrences that happen from time to time. But as we were traveling along on sort of this track side, I would say, like a path that kind of runs just parallel to the tracks, Miss Curtis has been staying sort of near the middle of the group, and I'd like to know from our group here, what's the trotting order? I suppose you could call it. What's the trotting order, you guys?
Harper would definitely be pulling the rear.
Mm-hmm.
What I've heard.
I've heard that too. Harper's in the rear.
Where's Miss Curtis didn't join us, did she?
Miss Curtis is with you guys.
Okay, yeah. Where is she?
Near the middle. She'd be near the middle. So she basically, if there's 5 of you, which there is, she'd be dead center. And I'm just curious who is to the front and behind her would be my question.
Roy would be in the front.
I'd probably be behind, I imagine.
Okay. Very good. So as you guys are moving forward, and that would put Matthias just in front of her, as you are moving along, she starts to kind of lag back a little bit. Now, you're not sure if it's her slowing her horse down, Santiago, or if it's just the horse slowing itself down, as it were. But as she slows down a little bit, she sort of saddles up next to you, and you two are kind of trotting alongside next to one another. And she leans over. Father, could I perhaps pick your brain for a moment, sir?
Well, as long as you promise to put the pieces back.
I don't know what I would do with a brain. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. I wanted to ask you, Father, what why aren't you associated with a parish or a church or a cathedral of some kind? It's not often that I see priests wandering. And I mean no offense, sir, of course.
No, of course not, senorita. None taken. I was with a congregation once. I tended to my flock, as it were. But unfortunately, the forces of evil in this country were more insidious than perhaps I had given them credit for. It was very rapidly becoming an untenable situation with my flock. They, at the end, suspected that I myself was responsible for the evil that had fallen upon them, the suffering, the famine, the disappearances, the pain, and well, rather than continue to exacerbate their pain, I simply left and decided that my work elsewhere would be more soothing, both for the people of this country and for my congregation's healing process.
Sound of that sort of country breeze just kind of blowing through the kind of the flowing grass back and forth. Sound of the horses letting out snorts, breaths of air. And she's listening to you as you say this, Santiago. Her ponytail, that dirty blonde hair, sort of just bouncing a little bit, and she lifts up her hat a little bit to just kind of wipe her brow, a little bit of sweat. She pulls it back down, and you can tell she's pondering what you've just told her for at least a few moments before responding. Well, Father, I may not be the best of Christians, but it sounds like you did what was best for your flock, sir.
That is what I tell myself. But out here, in the wild, the desert, meeting people who are very much unlike yourself, senorita. Greedy, manipulative, violent. I do sometimes, against my better judgment, second guess my choice. I sometimes wish I had stayed and endured their whips and scorns than throw myself into this man-made hell.
He thinks about that for a moment. And Father, why not go back?
Because I know very well that there is a great distance between what we desire and what God has called us to do.
Before she can respond, Roy, you're up front, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
You notice, and again, you're moving through the sort of open, these kind of like plains, the breadbasket, as it were, and these plains areas of Iowa, about halfway through the state itself. And as you're looking up, there's a little bit of roll to the hills as you're moving through. And as you look forward, you see two, probably a mile or two away. So it's very small, but you've been out in the wilds many times. You know what you're looking for. You see two people on horseback. Can't make out whether they are, outlaws, if they're, gunslingers, if it's, Indians. You're not sure who it is, but you see a pair of them, again, a mile and a half away. You can see them, and they're just kind of watching, and they are in the path, the direction that you were heading. I'm curious what you would do when you spot these two individuals.
he'd call back over his shoulder and say, "Got 2 folks on horseback on the horizon." I assume they're like on the top of a hill, a crest,
Oh yeah,
silhouetted
yep. On the
against
top
the
of the
sky.
hill, they can look down, and they're definitely looking in your direction. Correct. Yep.
All right. And while they're too far away to, make out what, we're doing what they're doing, Roy will pull out his revolver, check the cylinder, and then also load up his Sharps Big 50.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Senior Harper, would you please, if you'll fall back, let us ride side by side with Miss Curtis, just in case.
All right. And Harper would kind of trot along to the other side of Miss Curtis, and he would be doing something very similar. He's going to be checking his cylinder on his revolver, and he's going to reach down and crack the action on a double barrel shotgun and check to make sure it's loaded.
Like it.
Padre will do the same.
So as you
Everybody's got
guys
a double barrel.
prepare, and you're just gonna keep going the same direction you're going, no deviation, just straight ahead. Is that correct?
If they're all following Roy would deviate like not like 45, but close to a 45-degree angle, just so they would have to move if they want to intercept.
I like
just
that.
to make it very clear that they're
seen.
Yeah.
You guys continue to trundle on, and Miss Curtis notices everyone shift around, looks left and right, and she looks over, and she actually will lean over to Harper and simply ask, "Mr. Harper, what's happening? Why have we all fallen back like this?"
Well, ma'am, it might kick off here. Use that gun?
Kick off, sir. Sir, I don't understand.
And Harper's gonna kind of lightly point, not to where he's like actively
I looked over there.
doing anything. Like, I see you up there.
Hi, people.
Ah! Harper's just gonna
Hey,
kind of
camp
subtly,
cowboy.
yeah, just kind of motion towards them
she
and
looks
just
over,
go.
and it takes her a moment, lifts up the brim of her hat, and then she says, "Well, who are they? Are they trouble?"
I don't know, but out here you run into folks out here in Iowa, out in the plains like this, along railroads. Usually ain't a real good thing. With us deviating, are they following us along the ridgeline at all?
That's a great question. I'm so glad you brought it up, Harper. Yes, they are. They are deviating and following. It is not like they don't take off at a gallop, but you guys slightly deviate. They deviate along the crest of that hill, and they deviate and they trot forward. And you've been moving at a steady pace. You're not full gallop. You're just trotting along, as it were. And you've probably covered another quarter mile, so they're maybe about 3/4 of a mile away. Continue on, and where you deviate, they deviate. And as you're moving along, you're about a half mile closer to them, so only about a half mile away, and you're getting a better image of them. You see 2 painted horses, and when I say painted, they are both painted and painted, and you see 2 men atop those horses, full headdresses, definitely Native American, and you see that they have what appears to be rifles that are resting on their shoulders, and they're watching you. Simultaneously, as you're moving along, you see about maybe a quarter mile. So you guys are half mile from where that ridge is, and it runs a pretty long span and then starts to dip back down. It probably runs a couple miles. It's just one of those like hills as the glaciers came down. It just pushed all the dirt up kind of thing. So they're following you along, but as you look ahead about a quarter mile, so about halfway distance in between them and you see what appears to be a small camp. And what you notice about this camp is that doesn't seem to be anybody there right now. Doesn't seem to be any people. You don't see anyone moving around, and the tents are kind of flapping in the breeze that I had mentioned earlier, and the smoke from the fire looks very old, just kind of like it's just the embers are burning, petering out. Exactly, well stated, Roy. As you're watching, you see that, and then these two Indians, as it were, are just watching you guys as you are making your way towards it. So What would you guys like to do at this point?
Is there any high ground within maybe 100 yards of the camp? Anything, like a small hill, a
Yes.
set of rocks? All right. Royal, nod over towards and say, I'll keep an eye out if you want to go talk to him. And he pats the big 50 in the saddle scabbard.
Hmm.
At this point, most likely Sioux. I don't really exactly speak Sioux. I don't know. We're gonna gamble on maybe they speak English.
Perhaps enough to know, don't shoot. We come in peace. Can I make a common knowledge roll perhaps to see if these are, I mean, it seems silly to ask if these are traditional lands of theirs because, the United States. But,
Yeah.
but just to see if since we're seeing Native Americans here,
Yeah.
are they like deviating from their normal?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question. Why don't you roll for it? I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So 5?
5?
guess.
Yeah. And if I'm trying to remember how the difficulty on this thing works, it's the number of successes, right? No, it's you're shooting for.
You got to go to a 4.
4 or better. That's right. Okay. Sorry. So many different systems I'm running right now. They all get a little confusing sometimes. This one reminds me a lot of Vampire, but I digress. All right, cool. So yes. So you would recognize that they're probably. Let me do some quick measurements here with my handy dandy trusty measuring stick. They're a ways outside of the Sioux Nation's territory. They are probably about 100 miles outside the range of their normal territory, as it were. Yeah.
I think I would sort of, Padre would sort of squint towards the crest of the hill at them and say, they're certainly farther outside of their territory than is normal.
As you squint at them, Padre, you notice that what was 2 is now 3. There's the 2 original, and there's an additional person. There's a third that is now in the center of the other 2.
Gentlemen, I believe there has been a miracle, some immaculate reproduction. There are 3 now.
This day
Oh,
just
yeah.
keeps getting better and better, don't it?
Roy slides off his horse on top of that little piece of raised ground
Well,
and just kind of drops to a crouch. Doesn't have his rifle in his hands or anything.
can't we just go talk to him? We could tell him that we don't mean any harm, and we're just simply trying to travel. I mean, we're not going into the Sioux Nation territory, are we?
That's the goal.
If we want to get the fastest way, we're going to have to cut right through. Path of least resistance would be stay on the railroad, skirt around them, but they've already seen us.
What we do next will set the tenor of our conversations. It is best to approach carefully. We could certainly speak with him, senorita, but out here, it is wise to extend one hand while carrying a weapon in the other.
Whatever we do, I think we need to get a plan worked out here quick in case they decide to come off that goddamn ridge.
Can we,
Go up into the camp and wave at him.
yeah.
Try and hail him.
So who's going up to the camp? Miss Curtis is, she goes to take her rifle off her back and check it. Does anyone stop her?
I think
yeah,
I
I
would.
assume
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, shouldn't we be prepared?
In a less conspicuous way.
She's gonna slide off her horse and like kind of like rotate it, where it looks like she's just checking her pack, and she'll be like, "Is this okay?" And then she's gonna like check her rifle and everything. Kind of put the horse between her and them. Who's gonna canter over towards the camp to kind of meet them halfway?
Shit.
Hopefully
I
everyone
would-
else.
I would volunteer to like be in like the foreground basically, just because I'm still dressed as a priest, and so I
Mhm.
hopefully they'll see that, and there'll be one of two reactions:
Oh, it'll be
extreme
one of two.
dislike,
It'll be
or-
one of two.
yeah. So
We're in the north. We should be okay.
It's going to be one of two reactions if they see that collar. That's all I'm going to say.
my hope is that they'll see me unarmed, and that'll sort of massage some
Harper will
things.
go. Harper will go to the
Yeah, I was
camp.
gonna say Matthias will go. He'll go. He's
So 3 of you.
already checked his gun, and then he's got a sawed off and like a drop leg, and he's like both hammers back on.
Somebody should
Mhm.
stay with
Miss-
Miss
Miss-
Curtis.
Oh, well, Roy's back on the hill if you don't want her to go up
Yeah.
there.
Miss Curtis and Miss Curtis and Roy can stay on the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she's got a Winchester rifle. She's probably not that good with it, but she's got it, so that's something, right?
Preferably they're out of range of that.
Yeah,
But,
more than likely. So the
Harper's
thr-
going to kind of go over with her. Just do you know how to use that?
Well, I used to shoot wild brats. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've shot plenty of times with my pa.
All right. Well, this
Yeah.
ain't shooting with Paul.
I've been meaning to pick up some power converters at Toshi Station.
Gotta go pick up some power converters for my dad. Hilarious.
You know
But-
which end the bullets come out of.
Yes, sir, I do, Mr. Harper.
Now, just keep us covered and try not to shoot me, please.
I'll do my best, sir.
All right. Boys,
Imagine it's Matthias, Santiago, and Harper. Them kind of flanking you as you guys head down towards the camp. And, as go ahead, Roy.
sorry, just as they're starting to like get into gesture range, shouting range, as they start making contact, Roy would slip the big 50 out of the saddle scabbard surreptitiously, and then drop to his belly and kind of roll like
It's like
a little bit down the hill.
very slowly down the
So
hill. I
so
like
so
that.
so he's not on the crest of it, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a stealth check.
That is awesome. I love it. Do it. I love it.
Wow, that was awful.
Oh, terrible. You're like, oh, poof, poof, poof. Are you all right, Mr. Roy? Seems like you bumped your head there, sir.
landed on a cactus.
Yeah. Right up in there, cactus. Right up in there.
Oh,
But,
a white man have fallen. Anyone nearby is an earshot. A white man have fallen, and it hurts.
Oh,
So the three of you march
So-
off. Go
How
ahead.
does your stat play into when you roll a skill? Does it at all?
Yes. So, what's the sort of simplest way of putting this? Your skill, right?
Capped by your stat.
Yes, it's capped by your stat, right? And your skill can be like a die type well above.
Uh-huh.
Like it, it's not necessarily. You're using the skill dice rather than the attribute dice. The attribute is just like a cap.
Okay.
And then you also roll the wild die as well. So you have those two options,
Mhm.
right? Whichever one's higher.
And obviously
Okay.
the wild die is always a d6, so it can
Yes.
be better for you, but
And it can explode.
it can explode too. So like if you had a d12 but you rolled a 4 but you rolled a 6 and then a 5, you'd have a better on the wild die. So you always have that chance of just something miraculous happening. Which is
Yeah,
the
that's
point
what the wild die is
Okay.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
you
then, of course,
roll.
you've got attribute rolls as well, right?
You kind of fuck it up a little bit, but that's all right. They don't seem upset by it. They don't seem agitated. But the three of them come down off the crest of the hill they were on, and the closer you guys get to this little camp, you realize that there are a lot of arrows and a lot of what appears to be relatively fresh blood all over this camp, but no bodies whatsoever. So you make your way down, and I'd like to imagine what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys this this camp here really quick. And give me 1 second. You zippity zip doop da you guys over to there. Skadoosh! So this is the camp. And there's some blood, and there's some splattering around in different places. And kind of looks like there's a little bit of barricades. There's like a central tent there, a couple little side tents. Looks like there was probably maybe a dozen, maybe 18 people that could have been in this camp. Lots of blood, lots of arrows, lots of looks like there was a little battle, a little skirmish here, but no people. No people whatsoever. All right? No people whatsoever. I'm going to move you guys back to the bigger map, as it were. So those Native Americans, those Indians, come down off their hill, and you see that it looks to be 2 Sioux warriors flanking what you can only assume is maybe a shaman or a chief. Not to sound cheeky, he's got a little bit more paint, a little bit more feathers, looks a little bit more important than the other
Right.
2 do, right? So as he makes his way down, they stop, and you guys are about 100 feet from one another, sort of flanking either side of this camp. And he just raises his hand. Just raises his hand in a sort of just generic greeting. They don't seem hostile. The 2 warriors have their rifles on their shoulders. You can see they also have some arrows and a bow slung around their shoulder as well. They seem very well prepared, protective of the shaman or the chieftain in front of them. But he just simply raises his hand, just in a greeting, but doesn't say anything at first. How do you respond?
Harper would raise his hand in a very similar manner.
He first calls out to you in his native tongue, in Sioux. And he calls out to you, probably some sort of greeting. It doesn't sound like any of you speak it. I'm assuming you do not respond in kind right away.
I think Padre would probably try to make a gesture like, I don't speak your language, I can't understand, like some basic like hand signals, right? Like speak, no,
Yep.
He
He
something to
nods.
that
His
effect.
head kind of goes up, and he nods. And then he calls out in pretty perfect English. What are you doing here?
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
We are merely attempting to pass through. We are on a journey to find and recover a friend.
He, expressionless, doesn't show any real emotion, responds. Your journey, where does it take you?
Wyoming.
You walk a path that is treaded by the dead. You should turn back, lest you join them.
We understand the risks, but our duty compels us.
The shaman seems to ponder this word duty for a few moments. To whom do you owe this duty?
I want to say God, but I don't. Also, shouldn't say that. Our fellow men, and he'll gesture like us, you,
Everyone?
like, the earth, everyone.
He's gonna nod at that. The 2 warriors to his flank turn and start to head back up the hill, and he stays behind for a moment. Know this, men that walk with duty The dead do not stay dead on the road of which you travel. And then he will just turn his horse and just very slowly trot back up the hill. He meets the other two warriors. They both kind of turn, look to you for a moment, and then take off at a pretty good pace, dip below the crest, and disappear over the other side of the hill.
Just before they leave, just kind of like as some form of kind of respect, Harper again would just kind of give that.
They pay you no heed, but you know, you do make the motion. Yeah.
As soon as they're out of earshot, Tice goes, "Well, thank fuck for that."
Jesus Christ! And Harper just like unhammers both of on the shotgun and on both of revolvers. Oh, thank God!
I don't think we should thank God at this moment. That was worse. That was worse than I was expecting.
Look, I don't usually travel with a priest, but or I'm generally not one of those god bothering type. But holy shit, I should travel with a priest more often.
Oh my days!
I fear our journey will be much more stressful in the coming moments, if what they say is true.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know, Royal
this?
ride up behind him at this point.
Oh, he means when you stuff dies around here, it somebody comes back to life. It's a whole thing. The stories, a little bit of truth.
Oh hell! What did this lady drag us into?
What happened?
We
Why
haven't
did they
even got
leave?
to the fun part yet.
What did you say to him? I feared the worst when they started coming down off that hill towards y'all.
Well, a good padre here is just a maestro with words.
We had a pleasant conversation, and they warned us of a tough road ahead.
All right, so everyone get the fuck on your horse. Let's get back on that road and get the fuck out of here. Because I don't want to stay any longer than we
The
need
sound of the tents flapping in the breeze intensifies as a gust seems to swell through this little kind of like divot, this little valley between the hills, and there is a faintly sour smell in the air, like maybe there was a carcass somewhere that you got a very intense waft of.
There's a carcass everywhere. It's the west. Well, it's
man,
it's the middle.
Probably pretty normal smell for you guys. You're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
normal, whatever. But it's pretty intense for just a brief moment. And you guys head off traveling. And you travel for the majority of the rest of the day, making relatively good time. It is starting to become a little bit darker, and at this point you're likely looking for a good place somewhere along the roadside that you could set up camp, maybe somewhere that has maybe a little covering from the elements, as it were, block out some of the breeze, help the fire stay lit and warm. And as you're moving along, you come to this sort of stonier section of the pathway of the road, sort of this little like rocky outcropping. It sort of rises up, and as it rises up, you can see that there's kind of like a little I would say a little valley area, I would say, that would probably make a decent camp, all things considered. I'm actually going to move you guys over to this little section right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, as it were. And you guys are riding up from the south. And as you guys make your way into this area here, you notice that there's a couple of spots that look like drag marks, and the ground is stained a very deep, deep crimson. Looks like blood. And you kind of notice it just as y'all pull into this section here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get your tokens here onto the map, if I may be so bold as to do so. Real quick here. Douche. And Roy. Alright. And Mr. Harper. There we go. And we'll go ahead and set you guys up in your marching order as you said it was.
Oh, there are two of them.
Oh God.
Yeah, I can't control the one you put down, but I can control the one I put down.
Alright, well,
Yep.
then control the one
So-
that you put down. Fine by me. Go ahead and delete the other ones. Gadoosh. I thought I fixed that. Well, go ahead and drag your own tokens on the map. There, I said it. Ha.
Fine, I
Roll
will.
mine.
Do it yourself.
Do it.
Lazy shits.
Yeah, pieces of
Booyah.
garbage. You boobas. All right, so she's like right there in the middle, and you see just up ahead there's some blood, a little bit of ichor, a little bit of gore, and as you look a little deeper, you notice half a dozen bodies that are strewn in this little valley here. Some of them have arrows in them. Some of them look like they have bullet holes. And as the sun is really started to set, it's just that sort of just the top part of the corona. It's really started to get very dark. Up on the rock off to the right-hand side, I'm going to have, and I've got to remind myself, there is like a perception check on this, which would be notice? Notice check. Have everyone give me a quick notice check, please. Ah, there we go. All right, Mr. Roy Marshall. Let's see, we got a 5. We got 3. We got a 1. And we got a 1. Yikes.
No, I
Two
got a
fives.
4 and a 2.
No, you got a 1. You're dead.
Yeah,
You missed
2
everything.
fives.
It's a 4. So you got 5, 5, 5. Perfect. So it would be Santiago, Matthias Ackerson, and Roy Marshall. Notice a man. You're not sure if the man is alive or dead, but they are sitting on the top of this little flat rock, maybe about 15 feet in the air. Their feet are dangling over the edge of the rock, and they've got a very dark, wide-brimmed, almost looks like a sombrero. It's huge, but it's a black hat. It's got this white rope. You can see the white rope's got a little bit of red staining around it, and their hands are resting at their sides, palms down. One of the hands has a revolver. The other has what appears to be a cigarette in it. And the man is sort of slumped forward, just kind of leaning over, as it were, head down. You can't really see anything, but you see he's got 1, 2, 3, about 3 arrows in him, and his left leg looks like it's got a gunshot wound as well. And he's just sitting there, just dead as it looks dead as could be, as it were. How would you guys like to proceed?
First question: how is my horse reacting?
The horses are not happy right now. They are doing that thing horses do where their tails are flicking, and you're having to be like, whoa, whoa, and they're not startled, but they are uncomfortable and uneasy. Like when horses are, about to be spooked, probably is the impression I would give.
As a dude who grew up with horses, is it like a spooked, or is it like a predator in the area kind of spooked?
You know what? I think that is I'm gonna make you make a roll for that. I'm not sure what the roll is gonna be, but I think you should make a roll on that. I think you should do is there like a handle animal?
I have
Would that
riding.
not just be riding?
Riding? Yeah, give me a ride check. Give me a ride check, please. I like that.
Oh,
How's a
Damn.
15?
Oh! Predator. 100%. Oh, that's crazy. That exploded twice, I think. Is that twice? Damn.
Yep.
There you go. Gotta love exploding dice. They're so much fun. Woo! He did the thing. It's fun. I like that.
I didn't
like that a
see
lot.
shit, but goddamn, my horse did.
Yeah, your horse is not happy. It's like Predator style. Predator style. Yeah. It's not good. Yeah.
3 red dots on your chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Harper would just kind of whisper back that there's something here that's spooking the horses. It's not just the smell.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Hey, kid. I don't sound anything like that.
It's devolved. It's devolved so fast.
Thinking about this, and you said that.
I think, well, I don't have any like long range weaponry, so I tell you what,
Rocks all over.
can I get, can I make an occult check
Ooh, yes, you can.
to like get a bad vibe check?
Yeah,
on-
give me a cult check for a bad vibe check. I like that. Absolutely.
Stand by for vibe check.
It's a passive vibe check.
Hold on.
Oh.
I'm gonna spend a Benny to reroll that.
Okay. How many
many
bennies
bennies
does
do you
everyone
get?
start with? That's my good question.
10 or 20?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't think that's right.
3, I believe.
I think it's 3 bennies, right?
I heard 20.
I
On
don't
the
think that's
side.
right.
23. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
23. There
yeah,
we go.
I'll let everyone should draw the chips, the fate chips. Those are the bennies, right? Yeah. Everyone should choose. Was it the white? You click on if you click on choose, you can drag the ones you want out of the bag, and they're endless.
Right.
Yeah. You should be able to you can pick them up. I think red ones are the standard ones. I think gold were the super awesome ones. It's been a second, so we're playing a little fast and loose. We'll figure it out.
So, where do you put them?
Should be able to pick them up into your hand if you right click.
There's
Pick card.
There's a tracker on the sheet too,
Oh,
so
I
it's
see.
not
Oh,
like
is
you
there?
have
Big
to.
card.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I have 3. I just clicked it down to 2.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
I'm
so
gonna reroll.
here's where we're at. So go ahead and reroll. Good. Nice,
Better.
7. There you go. So, a couple things. The way I'm going to describe this to you, Santiago, is you can, for a moment, it's as though everything kind of goes black and white, and your vision changes, almost like you're seeing in Predator, because we're leaning into, la la la, you start going, kill me, do it. But exactly. But as you look over, everything kind of goes black and white for a second, and you can see what looks like gray flame starting to kind of rise up and around this man for a moment, this dead man. And then you see him stir. It's not a natural stirring. It's very, I want to say mechanical, or just it's not a natural stirring. It's very almost like marionette like kind of like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you hear a voice. You hear him start to speak. These were the children of wrath, the fire of God. What am I watching? What a subtle suicide pact, taking on the scythe of a civil war among sparrows. And you see him, his gun hands start to rise up. And then he continues on. The transmission was the offering, a dark vision of the future. And then you see not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 6 of the bodies before you start to rise up and start to, animate. And you see what appears to be a group of southern soldiers, as it were. They're all dressed in sort of the grays and what have you. And they start to rise up. And then in a chorus, they continue this ominous poem. The skies were not answering the prayers. The old lover wants to come back in small land to forgive the division of hearts. And they just start to rise up like a chorus, all yelling at each other. And we are going to roll some initiative. And we're going to see what kind of craziness happens here, because you're about to get attacked by the Undead Civil War guys. And it's going to be great. We're going to see what happens. So
This is just a flash mob. I know what these are.
yeah. Do. Thriller. Thriller. Nice.
So we all got to draw an action card.
You all draw an action card, and then we will go from there. And I got to get my little cheat sheet pulled up here. So I remember how this works. Get my little cheaty sheety. Got my cheaty sheety up.
Card.
I got a 2.
Okay.
I
All right.
I received a 7. Looks like. Yep.
got a 1. Or
I
no, we draw 2.
I don't want to
right?
steal that card. Don't let me steal that card. Deny.
No, you just draw the 1.
Just draw the 1 card, and then we draw at the beginning of every round again. All right.
Yeah. It's a
Steal
variable.
request.
See, every time again. Yep.
No way.
All righty then. And let me do this. Got this. Okay. Add this to game. Okay. All right.
So ace is high, deuce is low.
Yep. So ace
Spade,
is
heart,
high.
diamond.
Yep. Spade. And then it goes. So spade, heart, diamond, club, and then
Yeah.
ace is high, and then I have to draw for the bad guys. All right. Layer, token layer. All right. So I'm just gonna take these cards. I'm gonna put them next to the bad guys, so we know. All right, cool beans. All right, so we are gonna go. Who's got spades? Anybody got spades?
Yes, I got spades.
All right, what is your spades, good sir?
7 spade.
7 of spades. All right, so then you are up first, good sir.
Okay. Let's see here.
Is it not number then suit?
No, it's suit, number, suit, then number.
Oh, well, let me draw a new card. Number my suit was.
So, like, these are these elevations on the map?
Yep,
like,
yep, those go up about 10 feet. That is correct. You got it, brother.
Okay. All right. What I want to do here is turn and gallop away.
Okay.
No.
And you can move a number of squares equal to your pace. The horse's pace is 12, because I'm assuming you're on horseback.
Yes.
Oh, and you guys will be getting a +1 forward for this. Because Judas Goat Barbecue just did a point redeem. So whoever attacks first will get a +1. You know what I'm going to do? I think for Deadlands, I'll give you guys a free reroll. Whenever they do a point spend, whenever somebody does a point spend, free reroll if you want to use it.
Very nice.
If we don't use it, does it just keep passing on? To
Yeah,
the
you just
next
pass it
person
on.
until
Yep.
the-
First person that wants
Okay.
to use it can use it. I think that's very fair. I like that.
Yep.
Okay, what I'd like to do is I want to cast something.
Ooh,
Actually.
okay, all right.
I would
cleric.
well, thank you. Action priest.
Action priest, love it.
I'm going to use holy symbol.
Okay.
So, let me
Burn undead? What?
And I actually don't hate putting the cards next to characters. Like, we have to move them for, like, movement purposes. That's fine. But that kind of,
Yeah.
like, it's a visual thing, too. Because when I last played this, I played in person, and we all just took our cards, like, put them on the table. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway. Cool.
hold on a second. Let me remember what holy symbol looks like.
You're a kitty. You're
Yeah, here
It
we
looks
go.
like a cross, doesn't it?
Okie doke. So it's going to take 3 power points. I'm going to do it.
I believe.
I'm going to do it. Don't tell me I won't, because I will.
You're going to do it.
Doing a thing.
Oh!
Oh shit!
Damn! All right.
He did a
There
thing.
you go. Okay. All right.
Okay, so what this does,
Yeah.
any supernaturally evil creature
Uh-huh.
that wants to make a direct physical attack on me
Yeah.
must make a spirit roll as a free action.
Ooh.
The creature subtracts 2 if the blessed cast with a raise.
Huh?
And I definitely have a raise here
You
because
do.
that's
Yeah. You
well
got.
above.
Yep.
2 raises technically, right?
So
Or
you
maybe-
got for
just the one.
before just the one. You have to get a 12 for it to be 2.
Yeah. So if they fail that spirit roll as a free action, they can't touch me.
I love that. So the father is completely protected right now from these undead. That is fantastic. Absolutely fucking fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Anything else, father?
Hmm.
Hey, nice kid.
Just draw the double barrel shotgun and then I want to move I think I would move my horse. I would ride back this way
Uh-huh.
behind this rock formation
Yep.
and then dismount the horse.
Love it. Perfect. Okay. All right. And let's see here. Leela Curtis. Let's see here. So who else has... Anybody else have spades? Any spades? No spades? 3, 2, 1. Hearts. Who's got hearts?
King of Hearts.
King of Hearts. That would be you next, my man.
So let's see. So the horse's pace is 12.
Well, that is correct.
So
The weird zombie guys are kind of rushing forward towards you.
I'm gonna do the same thing that the father did, but
Love
in
it.
different direction.
Do it. Give in to your anger.
Give in to your anger.
A surprise
Dismount
to be sure, but a welcome one.
Mm.
See how far is it going? 20 feet. Second range increment.
Do it.
Is this range in feet or yards? Which
That's
I would
it.
assume it's in. I would assume it's in yards because
I believe
like
it's in yards.
my
No,
big
if it's in-
50 only has
okay.
a range of 30.
Yeah, I believe it's in yards.
We're
Okay.
firing Nerf guns.
Yeah, that's for firing different.
We like
Your
it.
shotgun pellets just immediately stop. They're just in a flat wall.
Oh no.
3 yards in first increment. Then take a shot at that guy.
Love it.
Take a little shoot at the guy.
Love it.
So let's see. I'll just click this. Oh, that was
Oh.
damage.
What do we got
Well,
here?
If you hit them properly, then
Oh my god. Who
Yeah,
are you
that was-
shooting?
That was damage.
We
Why
should,
did I gotta roll a hit first, right?
You
Or
gotta
is
roll
it-
the
yeah,
hit.
you
Yep,
got to roll
yep.
the hit.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, you gotta
I
roll
clicked on
shoot.
Shooting. Yeah.
Shoot.
Yep. And that's against 4.
5.
That's a hit.
Yep, so it's 5. It's a hit.
Okay. And then who are you shooting? The zombie or the guy on the ridge?
This mental gen right here.
This gentleman right here. Okay, perfect. So now I have to double check damage. The damage, ranged weapon damage versus toughness. So the zombie's toughness is 7, and you got 28 damage. Am I reading that right? Is that correct? 28 damage. The bonus damage is on top of that, right? Because your bonus damage exploded too.
I don't think the bonus damage applies necessarily unless there's some extra.
Okay.
Well,
Thing
he's using.
involved?
You're using armor piercing, aren't you?
It is no. It's just 2d. It's just 2d6 plus 1.
36. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna go with the 17, which is still good. So that is you got past 7. That's damage with a raise because you went over their toughness.
So he targets shaken and takes that many wounds
It takes
as
that
raises.
many wounds. So he
So shaken and 1
has-
wound, right?
That is correct. And then how many wounds do they have? This says zombie 0. They have a total of 2 wounds, which means I think you kill it. I think it's incapacitated. Taking care-
Extras die on the first wound if they're just extras.
Mhm.
Wild cards can take up to 3 and are incapacitated on the 4th. So it depends on like if they're minions or if they're big boys.
This zombie is down. This
Okay.
zombie is down. So you saddle up with your Colt and he's just "Rah!" just like yelling this poem at you, "Rah!" and you just blast his head off. Just zombie bits go everywhere, and the zombie tumbles to the ground and is incapacitated. And by incapacitated, I mean dead, re-deaded. You re-deaded.
Yep,
the
gentleman
zombie.
looks like a party started early.
Yes. Absolutely bloody fucking fantastic. All right. So we are still on hearts. Anybody else have hearts? Hearts. Nobody? Okay. The zombies have hearts. And the zombies' pace
surely.
is 4. So they're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're
Since
just
we have
going
to draw the new ones every round, we'll
Yep.
just delete our card after we've
Yep,
gone.
that would be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. So they're just going to stumble forward, doing their weird zombie thing. Perfect. And all right, we are done with hearts. Diamonds. Who's got diamonds?
Have a diamond.
Okay.
That does.
Leela has a king of diamonds. So Leela is just struggling to get her gun out. She's kind of panicking right now, and that's going to be her whole turn. So we're going to delete her card real quick. And then who's got the next highest? So king, queen. Anybody?
I got a queen.
Queen?
I got the queen.
Boom.
Yep, Harper.
All right, Harper, you're up next. Queen.
I'm going to shoot. I dual wield, so I have 2 revolvers.
Okay.
So I assume that means as long as I hit, I shoot twice.
I would say yes. I don't see any reason why not.
Well, it depends on the rate of fire. I mean, do you want to know, or should we?
Yeah, I want to know, please.
Really cool it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, because it's different than double tap, because double tap just increases your
Yeah.
damage
Yeah.
into hit.
I also
So
have
multi-actions. You may take up to 2 extra actions per round, but you must declare all actions at the start of the turn, and each additional action causes a -2 penalty on all actions that turn. So you can shoot twice, but you're getting a -2 on both shots.
It's
which
just
makes
2-weapon
sense.
fighting. It's
Yeah.
just 2-weapon
Just
fighting.
basically
Yeah.
2-weapon fighting. Yep.
Okay.
So you could be like boom, and then sometimes you're like, I need to throw some ammo down range. You can be like boom, boom, but it's harder to shoot dual wield, just like Hunt.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
then,
like, so
that's
I
fair.
have the double
Your
tap.
hitbox is a little bit bigger, right?
I have the double tap feat, so like I can shoot. I technically shoot twice, but it only just increases my to hit and my damage.
like
It's not
that.
actually a second attack. So it's just a
That's
little
not true, and you know it, Wolf. RNG. That's true. That's true, Blah. You're not wrong, big baby bird. You're not wrong.
Because
RNG is
I
crazy.
forgot what this does. I just want to see what that does real quick.
Yeah. So you notice, so quick draw, you can draw 2 cards and spending a Benny for an additional action card. Oh, so
Yeah,
you
it's
have to
just-
you have to get an additional action card, which means you take 2 actions, but it's not at the same time, is what my understanding is. And again, I appreciate you guys kind of working through me. I've not
Right.
played this in forever.
That's why I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
I have quick draw. What
yeah,
does that
so
do?
you have to.
Well, no, it looks like you can spend a Benny, you can get 2 cards, and then you can choose the better one. So it's effectively
Oh,
like
okay.
an advantage on initiative kind
So
of
that's
thing.
different.
Oh,
That's
okay.
different. That's a different thing. But you can
Okay.
still take 2 actions, but you have to declare, "Hey, I'm going to shoot twice." So did
Okay.
you want to shoot twice?
No, I'm gonna shoot.
Oh, so wielding
once.
2 firearms offers no special advantage other than additional ammunition. But he could still
Okay.
declare he's going to shoot.
You could still
twice.
say you're
Yeah,
going to shoot
okay.
twice. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
just
Cool,
to
cool,
get,
cool, cool.
Just to get.
So it's like
bullets.
New Hunt, where you have the extra
Yeah.
stuff. It's like New Hunt. That makes sense. All right.
If only they declared that they were shooting twice.
Yeah. Well, I've headshot people
so
at 50 meters sometimes, and with dual wielding,
This
and I still don't
person,
understand why.
I'm going to
RNG.
shoot and hope. So shoot.
That's
I
a hit. Good. Roll some
Alright.
damage.
And we're going with
Okay.
Hope Peachmaker.
Oh, and you watch as this undead monster, you shoot him, boom, right into his chest. He swings around, pivoting, and drops to the floor and seems to be incapacitated. Well done, sir. Well fucking done. Loving it so far. All right, we are still on diamonds. Anybody else have diamonds?
Yes. I have an 8.
Excellent. Okay.
That's where the bonus dice comes into play. You got to get a
Gotcha.
raise on your attack roll.
Gotcha. Okay. So you'd have to get an 8 or higher to get the bonus damage.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Here's a question: why do you get agility plus your weapon damage, Harper?
Because I have shooter as one of my
Okay.
Gotcha. All right.
He's just better than you.
I mean, it's just
Oh, yeah, no, it's
better
fair.
looking,
And then
better smelling. just a better
AP
guy.
just overcomes toughness, isn't it?
I like it.
That's all it
I
does.
believe so. I
Yes.
believe AP just then negates.
Yes.
for the most part.
Yes.
So coming back to it now.
I like the system a lot, and once we get more comfortable with it, this will be a lot smoother. This is like our
Yeah,
first
it'll be
combat,
faster.
so yeah, it'll be a
Yeah.
lot faster. But we're figuring it out.
Yeah,
First time I get-
like especially with like having quick draw now. I know I should have did that at the beginning,
Yeah.
but I forgot I had it.
It's okay. That's like I said. That's why I wanted to have a combat or two this session,
Oh, yeah.
so we can kind of just test the rules out and get used to it. All right. So who's up next? We got
I think it would be me.
Wow.
you, sir, Blausef. Your turn, sir.
Can you move and shoot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. You can move, and at any point along the movement, you can choose to shoot. I read
Oh,
that earlier.
that's even better.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you can.
so
As standard turn consists of 1 movement, a number of squares up to your pace, and 1 action. You may which can be taken any point during the movement.
all right. So Roy's gonna spur his horse forwards
Mhm.
and move through the crowd,
Hmm.
and he's gonna swing his shotgun over on one side, try to blast one, and then swing it over to the other and try to blast the one on the other side.
I love it. So you're declaring 2 actions, so -2 to
Yes.
these ones. Brilliant, double
Correct.
barrel in it. I love it. Cadwell revival. Let's go.
Yes. W key warrior.
Yeah, stuff
Um,
you keep wearing in it, just like an actual hunt. I love it. Let's go.
All right. So let me give you an attack roll.
Oh, damn.
So that's
And I'll
actually
do-
12, right?
Oh my god,
That's
that's
a
a
minus
12,
2.
Yep.
which is
Which is
still
2
2
raises,
raises.
though.
That's
And
fucking nuts.
Let me go ahead and roll damage on the first one.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So that's a total of 20.
That's 20 So boom, just splatters that zombie like a zombie in Hunt, just explodes going
And
everywhere.
I'm going to use the Benny we were given.
Yep.
Yep.
To reroll that. Love it. Oh.
Still,
But you
5.
swing it around, you go to get the other one.
Oh, it's 5.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, it's
it's a
5.
five.
It's a wild dice. Yeah, that's still a hit then. Let's go. 10 damage. Not bad.
Yeah,
That is
just
still
10.
enough to knock him out. Still enough. Skadoosh. So as you they both fall down and seem to be incapacitated, at least for the time being, which is absolutely fantastic. And all right, so any more diamonds that we have right now? No more diamonds. No more diamonds. We are on to spades. Any spades in the group?
Doesn't
Spades.
the
Oh, he's gonna
the
go.
main
Yeah,
bad guy
that's
have-
right. Oh, yeah. So he's gonna rise up, And as he rises up, he continues his weird poem, and he says, "No resonance comes after the surgical strike. You remember the sunset on the mouth of your palm. I said to you, we'll survive all your enemies. I distill the eyes for the course admission. After the poem has a meaning." And as he does so, all of the zombies that you've knocked down start to rise back up. And they start to sing the poem along with him. And these zombies appeared less dead as they kind of stitched themselves back together. Some of them more so than others, but they all seem back up and ready to go. And Father, you would see that kind of dark fire swirling around him, as he does so. And
Yeah.
he's got his revolver in the air. And as the sun dips below the horizon, he just fires just boom, 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 3 shots into the air, and the zombies rise back up.
And the sun dies.
Yeah, and as the sun dies. Yeah, that's true. Oh, oops.
You're
All
on
right.
citizens.
There was supposed to be 6 of them, so I'll just do that. 2, 4, 5, 6. No big deal. I'm actually going to move him back here as he starts to rise up. And, okay, I think that's everybody is gone. Is that correct? Am I right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to recall all the cards. Recall all. I'm going to shuffle the deck. Shuffle the deck, yes. And now we're going to redraw our action cards for this turn.
And you know what? Fuck it. I'll use quick draw.
Okay.
I will burn a Benny.
Love it.
So
I'm
gonna
very
draw
consistent.
2.
Nothing, if not consistent.
2. Do. Draw, so that's on the board.
Okay. All right. And this is beautiful. All right. So let me know when everyone has their cards drawn.
Yep.
All right. So we are on the second turn, which is fantastic. We've all redrawn our cards brilliantly so. And let me do this. Looks good. We're doing great. You'll love to see it. Okay, perfect. So first up, we have spades. Who's got spades?
I have a
That's
10
a heart,
of spades.
right? Those are spades. Those
I
are
have.
spades.
Nope, that's a club.
Those are spades. You have 10 of spades. She's got a 4 of spades. Spades. Lots of spades on it, actually. All right, so we'll start with spades. I'm going to go ace, king, queen, jack, 10. 10 would be Mr. Harper, correct? Beautiful.
Yep.
Harper, you're up, my dude. Take it away.
What kind of role would I need to make to kind of understand that he might be bringing these guys back?
Do you have a cult?
I have a little bit, yeah.
Roll me an occult check. See if you can notice the weirdness happening.
Oh.
Absolutely you do. You gotta love those wild dice, man. You gotta love those wild dice. You're like, it's a guy on the ridge. It's a guy on the ridge. He's like shooting it with every shot. Let's say he unloaded the revolver. We'll retcon a little bit. He went like boom, 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 for like 6 shots, and all the zombies rose back up. You're like, it's that guy. It's that motherfucker.
Harper is then going to... He's not going to holster, but he is going to pivot his reins into the other hand.
Yeah.
Turn Gemma, my horse,
Okay.
the other revolver, and shoot him at the ridge.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Make that shot, good sir. Make that shot.
So, shooting.
Okay. 6. That is a hit. You love to see it. Not a raise.
Damage.
Okay. 18. Woo! Let me double check his. He's got a special ability. All right. That is 18. All right. I need to roll for his vigor. He gets a success, so he is going to, his special ability where he's going to have that. So you wing him, and you definitely hurt him, but it looks like he's just got one. And as you strike him, a bit of flesh kind of sears off of him. He goes on to say, North and against South, hatred abound. Grant versus Lee, our country aflame. And he just starts to just continue to talk about this weird Civil War poetry that he's screaming. But he's not down yet. He's not down, but he definitely looks wounded.
And after I've shot, can I move still?
Yes, you can. Yeah, at any point
Alright.
during your movement, you can do it. Yep.
Okay. Harper is going to, like I said, with the reins of Gemma, I'm going to back my horse up so
Yep.
I'm in front of Miss Curtis.
Miss
and
Curtis, okay.
Pretty much, Harper's just going to go, would somebody shut this dude the hell up?
Somebody shut this fucking guy up. He's so annoying.
This man, I don't understand what's happening. He's
I don't
bringing
want
the
to.
dead
I don't want
back.
to. I don't like it. I hate it. It's bad. It's bad stuff. All right. Beautiful. All right. So we got. Who else had spades? Anybody else with spades?
Miss Curtis.
Miss Curtis. So we got. So we're at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Miss Curtis. Miss Curtis is gonna bring her
Oh, no,
rifle.
He had spades. He has 6.
He does have 6. Yes. So he is going to pivot his gun on the guy that just shot him, and he is going to scream at you, "Young men maimed on no neutral ground, a blood, papori, our nation in shame." And he's just gonna yell at you.
This is me. I want to fight this.
Okay.
Is he shooting me?
He's gonna shoot you. Yes.
Okay. What gun did he have?
He has a pistol.
Did you say he shot all 6 times?
He did shoot all 6 times.
Did he? I thought he had 3.
Yeah.
No, he shot
No,
all 6
he,
times. Yeah.
So he has to reload.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe.
does he have a 9 shot?
I don't know. We don't know. Maybe he's got magic bullets. You're not sure.
As-
He's got a Lamont.
Yeah.
As a
He's-
gunman,
It might be a
I wanna
Lamont.
fight-
It might be a
I wanna
Lamont.
fight
You
that
don't know.
gun.
I don't know.
Kill-
We'll see
kill-
what
Kill him
happens.
with Lamont. Kill him with Lamont. Wolf.
But no, he's gonna shoot at
love
you.
it.
He's gonna shoot at you. And you
He's
know what?
gonna death clip.
He's shooting ghost bullets. All right,
Damn
he's
it.
shooting ghost bullets.
No!
So
My one weakness.
I
ghost
mean,
bullets.
I don't know. I don't know if you
It went right
forgot.
through. Doesn't
I
hurt
don't know if
me.
you forgot. I don't know if you forgot, but I got this. All right, Game Master literally got. All right, so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Wolf
my
will be
turn.
way more upset if it's Lamont than Ghost Bullets. I'm telling you right now.
It might be a Lamont. It might be a Lamont. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But he's gonna shoot at you.
Dirty bastard.
All right, let me make him do a quick shooting check, and he gets
was Miss
a
Curtis.
2. And it was Miss Curtis, but I'm using her sheet
Oh.
for this guy. All right, because
So she's a zombie, is what you're saying.
she might be a zombie. So he shoots, and it just goes right past you, right past the horse. As it strikes the ground, there is a plume of kind of black flame that sort of erupts and seems to sear the earth around. But he just shoots the one time. That's all he's got. All right, so just kaboom, as it were.
Don't care for that.
But
Don't like that.
it was good. All right, and then we're gonna go down, and now it is Miss Curtis's turn. She's gonna bring her gun up, and she's gonna take a shoe stings at him, and she's gonna just be like, just ah! She's just screaming, just ah! 9. There you go. That's a hit with a raise. You love to see it, and she is gonna shoot him. Or she got the raise. So let's see here. Group crit check. I don't think
16.
she does get 16 damage on this guy, which he is going to make his check to see if he can have that damage. He succeeds, which 16 becomes an 8, which hits him for 1 over. He's looking very, very like he's kind of slumping down. He's more marionette-y. His one arm has gone limp, and he's got his gun up, and he's just pointing it at you guys, and just see him pulling the trigger, but it's clicking right now, so now he's out of bullets. All right, it was Lamont. He ran out of bullets, maybe. I don't know. We're not sure. We're not sure. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's good. All right, so I think we went through all of our spades. All right, now we are on to hearts. Who's got hearts? Ace, king, queen,
I got hearts.
jack, 10, 9, 8.
4 of hearts.
4 of hearts, 7, 6, 5, 4. We got 4 of hearts. Take it away, my man. It is your turn, good sir.
All right, so let's shoot some zombies once again.
Shaken.
Once again. We're gonna double tap, which is nice. So I just effectively expend an extra bullet, but get a +1 to my hit and damage. So shoot at this one right here. Right.
Ooh.
Oh,
A nice
which one are
10.
you shooting?
This one.
This one? I like it. I like it. I like it. So you can shoot that one. Okay, go and roll damage.
So
That's a hit with a raise, so you get 15 damage. Boom. That guy drops again. He's mooked. Skadoosh.
And let's multi-action shoot here, so we'll take the penalty.
Okay.
No. That's
5. It's a 5. Wild die.
That's my.
No, because he
5, 4. Oh,
shot twice.
you're right.
But
It's a 3.
multi-action.
You're right. Yep.
I miss.
So you do
So
miss,
it's a miss.
unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is a miss. Okay, so we are still on... We were on our hearts. Any other hearts on the table? I don't think I see any. No problem. Diamonds. Any diamonds? Roy, I think you
have an
got a
8.
diamond. All right. Diamond it up, my man.
All right. Roy, seeing the zombies reanimate and seeing everyone turn their attention to Mr. Sombrero,
Yeah.
is
Sombrero, man.
going to toss his shotgun aside.
Uh-huh.
And he's going to pull his pistol and start shooting at the man on the hill.
Love it. Make it happen. Let's get weird. And that's a hit
10,
with a
all right.
raise. 10
12.
damage. 12
12.
damage. He is going to attempt his vigor roll real quick. He fails! And with the final shot from Roy, the man right into his heart. And his chest implodes in. Gore shoots out his back. There's kind of this plume of smoke and fire that shoots out from behind him. And his whole chest kind of crumples in on itself. And his last words before he falls are
Turn down for what?
turn down for doot. He says, "Its name lacks credence or weight, as nothing was civil in this civil war." And he crumples down on himself, folding over. And as he folds over, all of the zombies also fold over, seemingly incapacitated and seemingly defeated. And as the sounds of battle stop, the sounds of the desert wind picks up, and Leela has her gun, and she's holding it, she's pointing it at that direction, and she's just shaking. And you see her like go to cock it, and nothing comes out because she only loaded like 2 bullets, and she cocked it, not realizing it was already cocked, and she's clicking and just keeps clicking as she is
Harper's
right next to
gonna
you. Yeah.
lean over and he's gonna like slowly grab the barrel and just kind of lower it.
Click. And she's just obviously upset, obviously scared. Take it away, Harper.
You did good.
What?
You do know which way the bullets come out.
What in God's green earth was that? The dead aren't supposed to walk like that. That man had... He was... And she's just, like, cannot speak because of just the shock. Obviously in shock.
Roy's gonna kind of glance over at Matthias and Roy and it's kind of holler over at Padre and just, "You're all right, Father?"
Surprisingly still holy.
Good. Roy, lead us the fuck out of this gully.
And,
Still on his horse, he kind of wheels it around and waits for people to mount back up.
everyone mounts back up. You're all gonna head out of the valley. Who would be the last one out of the valley? Who's the last one?
I mean,
Father was back, right?
yeah, probably the Padre, I imagine.
Padre, as you look over your shoulder to the right, you see the 3 figures you saw on the hill before, and you can kind of just see that it is the Sioux that you had run into. You see the shaman, and you see he has what appears to be some sort of staff, and he's starting to do like some sort of chant over the site. And as you watch, you see, the end of the movie Ghost, like where they got the guy gets dragged down to hell. You see like the spirits start to rise up, and then you see these claws kind of grab them and drag them back into the earth as he continues his chant to like put them to rest. Is what you're implying. What you can infer, and you guys head off and continue west for a while, probably riding into the night, putting a little bit of distance between yourselves and this weird site. And Miss Curtis does manage to kind of pull herself together It takes a good hour or two before she is truly calm, and you're continuing on, and you're moving, and you're moving, and you're moving, and finally she settles up next to Matthias for whatever reason. This is the marching order you're in, and she asks you, Mr. Matthias, if I recall correctly, sir, you'd mentioned you'd been out west.
Yep.
Is that going to be the worst of it, sir?
I wish I could tell you with a straight face that that's the worst of it, but I'm just gonna say is you need to figure out a way to process what you just saw because there's a chance it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
She doesn't look glum or solemn. She looks somewhat resigned to that statement. Maybe even a little bit more resigned than you would have expected from someone who's just seen the dead rise for the first time. Mr. Matthias, I realize I've already asked much of you simply by coming out here to help me on my, I suppose, my quest to rescue and find my father. That is to say, find and rescue him. But might I ask just one more thing of you, sir?
What would that be?
Should I or my father turn into whatever the hell those things were, could you see to it that we are put to rest properly?
I can do that. That goes for any man here. We'll make sure that you don't wander the earth like those poor bastards do. It.
And you all find a place to camp. You rest. There's a couple howls during the evening. Maybe some wolves in the area. No people. No other monsters. No living dead. But it's a pretty calm evening. Pretty relaxing, all things considered. And over the next several days, you continue to ride. And eventually, you do come to a section where you know you could cross through. You could cross through the Sioux Nation territory, or you could skirt around it. My question to the group is, do you choose to cross through, or do you choose to skirt around and go through Grand Island?
Roy would advocate for skirting, but doesn't make the decision for the group.
Man, I think skirting's the best move because we're gonna have to.
Well, the longer we wait, the more possibility there is for, if he's alive, to die. And then we come out here for nothing.
Remember, those natives are behind us. We didn't see them before we left the canyon. They might not take kindly to us going through.
Yeah. I think it's the lesser of two evils here.
Yep.
Well, also
Skirt.
plus, if we go through, are we going off the track? Off the track versus if we follow the trail.
You
Right.
would
We
be
can
going
make
off.
better
You'd be going off
speed.
the trail. But if you're going, you're heading off to Bitter Creek, which
If
technically,
we hug the
you would
line, it
be,
get us faster.
like it's about 500 miles from where you guys are at. If you take that route, it adds maybe 20, 30 miles, so it probably only adds an extra day of travel, all things considered. It's really not that bad. But if you cut through, I mean, hey, a day could be the difference, right? Could be the difference.
Well, it could also mean we piss off a bunch of the Sioux Nation and have to deal with that confrontation too. So
True. True.
We'll have to come back as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I vote for skirting and just hoofing it.
Yeah, that's probably best. We're just going to have to bust our asses.
Yeah, I think that's the better.
I
move.
mean, ma'am, this is your job. What do you want to do?
And as you ask Miss Curtis, she looks directly west through the upper portion of Nebraska. Now is the Sioux territory, Sioux Nation's territory, and she looks sort of along the rail. Maybe y'all might be a bit surprised at my answer to this, but I'd like to hug civilization as much as we can while we make my way to Bitter Creek. I vote we skirt the Sioux Nation. A day, at least in my opinion, won't make a difference. As much as I do want to find my father, I prefer to do so with my faculties intact.
Also, we know that we're not going to be being tracked and or hunted down by a bunch of pissed off Sioux at the same time, which is mighty comforting.
Personally, I'd rather keep my hair where it is.
And as you
Right.
guys continue onward and make your way, you would notice that those 3 Sioux warriors that were following you, they follow you right up until you get close to the border and start skirting it, and then they watch you for a while, and then they head back into their territory, and you just get the feeling like you probably made the right choice. Just realistically, you probably made the right choice. Like, they were watching you, seeing what you're doing, and yep, they seem pretty pleased with that, as it were. But as you guys continue onward, eventually you come to Grand Island. Grand Island, which is a reasonably sized town. A bunch of folks, kind of along the rail. Some of them heading west to Denver. Some of them heading, maybe back east towards Milwaukee and what have you. And I'm curious, this is probably going to be one of the only spots before a really long venture between here and as you get close to Denver, then you'll start to skirt up towards Bitter Creek. This is really the last place that you guys are going to be able to get some supplies. Now, you've been on the trail at this point. You've been on the trail since Milwaukee. You've made about 500 miles. So all things said and done, you guys have been traveling for about 2 weeks. Pretty hard riding, and you're probably starting to run a little low on supplies. And, just what are you looking for is my question. What would you guys be purchasing in town?
What time of day do we get in town?
What's that?
Interesting. What time of day do we get in town?
Later in the afternoon. Let's say 3 o'clock.
Well, everything's closed. It's a Sunday.
It absolutely is not. It's a Saturday afternoon. They're getting ready to close.
Maybe look again, Wolf.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Maybe check one more time.
I'm not gonna do it. I refuse. Everything's open in this wild town because they understand that commerce has no end. We need commerce.
Godless heathens.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Business
for Blau.
business has no closing time.
Yeah, business has no
Yeah.
closing time.
I
Commerce.
leaned into it.
All right, good. Yes, there's commerce.
Harper is going to take his mule, Winston,
Winston.
and we're going to go restock Winston and get some jerky and coffee and such and water.
Yeah.
I like it.
Re-equip all of our basic supplies.
Well, Winston, my man Winston, you are getting ready. You are filling up on some supplies, as it were. Filling up on some supplies.
Supplies
And
for Winston.
Remind me, did you have any interaction with those 4 women back in the previous town in Milwaukee? Did you have any interaction with them?
I didn't, but I was standing next to the Padre
Ah, excellent.
When,
That's right. Okay.
when he decided to kick Hornet's Nest.
Okay. See, that's good. That is absolutely bloody fucking fantastic. So you're getting ready to walk into one of the general stores in the town, right? You're starting to walk in. And I'm just going to pivot us all back over yonder. I'm going to go ahead and pivot us over to this generic Western map that I've been using for all towns included in this game because, every good GM's got a generic map that he uses for everything. And as you are getting ready to walk in, you see 1, 2 ladies walk out, and you almost bump into them. It's kind of like a boop. And the one that's got dark, kind of like the dark brow brim hat, her eyes are covered. You can just see her kind of her lower part of her face. She got blonde hair. She doesn't stop before you do. So if you don't stop, you're gonna run into her. But she just keeps walking. And I'm curious. Do you both back out of the way and give them way, or do you bump into them? What would you guys do in this situation?
Did Matthias come with me on that?
It looks like you've got a Mr. Harper with you. So you've got.
I'm Harper.
That's what I
He
said.
is Harper.
Yeah.
Wait, does my
I
ties
mean,
go
you do
with him?
have you with you.
God fucking damn it! I keep forgetting who's who. Mr.
We all look the same.
Y'all really generally look the same. So
I'm
you're
the
Harper.
other.
All
I'm
right.
the other John Marston looking.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're Harper. All right. So Harper, you walk up alone, no one else with
Yes.
you. You've been abandoned by your comrades. What do you do?
Harper is going to
I'm the worst.
sidestep out of their way and
Okay.
just he's a Missouri gentleman. He's
Yep.
just
So
gonna try-
they walk through where you were walking. The one with the rifle and like the red bandana, she takes a few steps down and then stops and sort of just pivots to lean on. You're on like a raised platform about 5 feet up. There's some stairs, and the woman that has her face covered with her hat, she stops and turns as you maybe take another step forward, and she calls over to you, and she says, "Where you heading to, cowboy?"
Well, just looking to get resupplied up.
None of your goddamn business.
None of your goddamn business, you stupid broad.
Oh, hey.
Whoa,
I mean,
whoa, hey.
Oh, hey, hey.
I'm in the market for some more smokes and restock for
For Winston,
yeah.
so he can smoke.
I got Winston's on Winston.
Hey.
You notice that the woman who'd stepped off the platform, you can't see like her lower torso. You can only kind of see like chest up, like just like where her like solar plexus is up. But
Mhm.
her shoulders are situated into a way where like you can tell she's ready to draw. Like she's just slightly like to the side, like kind of, so there's less body for you to shoot. The other woman has now slowly turned around, is now facing you, hat still down, and she says, "You wouldn't be happening to, cowboy, be heading to a little battlefield known as Battle Creek now, would you?"
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And it's the sun's kind of up there, so he's going to push his hat up just a little bit. And
Yeah.
he's going to make a subtle adjusting of his coat.
Ooh, I like that. As you do so, she looks up a little bit. You see she's got an eye patch, right? Because she's a pirate. She goes,
Mhm.
"Yar!"
Yeah, as they all do.
As they all do. No, so she's got an eye patch, and she's got a really nasty scar across her face, like where it looks like she got maybe like knifed or something across her face.
Mhm.
And she just eyes you for a second, literally, because she has one of them. She just eyes you for a second. She just looks at you.
You always make me talk to women with one eye.
I do. It's kind of my thing. It's we have a thing going. It's game master and player.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
you and me.
I didn't
Can you-
even think about that as I described her, so that's really funny. I didn't even think
Hey,
about it.
Zeb, can you not knock this one up, please?
Yeah, that'd be really great, man. Could you not
That'd be great.
have another trial? That'd be great. Yeah, it's getting weird, man.
Oh,
I know
I'm so
you
glad
love
I
me,
know
but-
nothing about this.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. But she just looks at you, and she is, unlike her companion, completely relaxed, not ready for battle, anything like that. She just looks at you.
yeah.
And she-
At this point, Harper is not looking at her. Harper
Yeah.
is looking at the woman that has,
Mhm.
like, he's more focused on her. Like, if she talks, he'll look back at her. But
Yeah.
if she's not talking, he is looking at the woman who is.
Yeah, and she just
in a
looks at you for a
stance.
second, and she says, "It'd sure be a shame to mess up a pretty face like that. Ride safe, cowboy." She's gonna tip her hat. She turns. She walks down, and you can hear her spurs just clink, 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 clink. And you see her look over, just make a head motion. And the girl that was below, you can see her pivot and start to walk away, and you see her like put her gun into her holster, so it was drawn. She had her gun drawn and was like ready to go on you. And you definitely get the impression that they were trying to provoke you. They really were. They were trying to provoke you, not too aggressively, but they were just. It feels like they were testing you. They were just getting a test of how, like, who you were as a person, maybe how aggressive you were. But you're able to head inside as you watch them walk away, and you actually see them walk maybe a halfway down the street. They meet up with the other two women that you had seen before. They all have a quick conversation. You see them look over to you once, maybe twice. They have the conversation, and then they all saddle up, and pretty much immediately, within the course of 3 minutes, they get on their horses and seem to ride out of town and start heading west. All right?
Can I make any form of like mental note of what these 4 women look like?
Absolutely, my man.
had
So they look
interactions
like this. I'll go ahead and drag these 4 women onto the map. This is what they look like. Skadoosh. Definitely nice ladies. Super friendly. Definitely not going to kill you at some point. They're very
Right.
good people. Yeah. Yep. And what I will do is I will go ahead and
Ignore that.
the other, let's see. We're just gonna call them the other group. It's not really that creative, but it's the other group. I'm gonna go ahead and go show to player, and they are now gonna be in your situation, not your situation, in your notebook, so you guys will be able to see them and just know that they exist. There you go. All right. And as you head inside, you're able to again gather your supplies, as it were, and what have ye. And what's everyone else doing in town? Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Harper would really like, as soon as he steps in and they're out of shot, he would there's a small book that he would use, a little like pencil of some kind, and he would just kind of do a general description, because in his mind these ladies just, she had gun out and she was okay with killing him right there, so he's gonna
apparently you're gonna walk in, and then the proprietor of this establishment, welcome to Old Joe's. I'm Old Joe, what would you like today? But we're not gonna role play that because I don't want to do that voice anymore. It's kind of annoying, and we're gonna move on from that. So it's all good.
weak.
But you're weak. All right, so that's good stuff. Yeah, so you guys are able to gather your supplies, and I think it'd be interesting for Harper, unless anyone else has any other scenes they want, any situations they'd like to get into, anything like that. I think it'd be interesting for you guys all to gather together later after you've all gotten your supplies and probably discuss. I'm assuming you bring this up, Harper. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're crazy. But go ahead and bring this up. So you guys are sitting down at the local saloon, getting a quick meal, some food. Miss Curtis is there with you. She seems very relaxed being back in civilization, and everything seems to be going well. So go ahead. Take it away, Harper.
Gentlemen, Padre, remember when you decided to have a conversation with that one man that tried to hire us?
Yes, the insufferable one. Yes, I do recall.
Yeah, the snake.
The Kiddly Diddler or whatever.
That's what I heard.
Just what I heard.
Do you remember the ladies that he was conversing with?
I do, yes.
I just ran into 2 of them at the store, and it felt like they were prying. They were fishing. They wanted to see what would happen. One of them had iron out. Now, Miss Curtis.
Yes, Mr. Harper?
Are we the only people that you tried to hire for this?
Well, I did, and she seems like a little nervous, but she simply says, I did talk to another group of gentlemen, but they laughed at me is all, and told me I was crazy to head out west. They said if I hadn't heard from my father, he was more than likely dead. I was about ready to give up hope when I ran into y'all.
Well, they knew about Bitter Creek. Asked if that's where I was headed.
Why would they be heading to Bitter Creek?
That's the question I'm asking right now. Did you perhaps maybe converse with somebody over this?
She thinks to herself, I mean, the only people I talked to were those 3 gentlemen by the train station, and you all. Well, I suppose there were 1 or 2 others that I simply asked if they'd be willing to head west, but I made no mention that I was heading to Battle Creek. I'm gonna feed this to you a little bit. I don't know who thinks this up, but recall that they had dragged a certain man out of town, and he had been strung up, and he looked pretty beaten and battered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Use that information as you see fit. I don't wanna metagame here with you guys, but use that information as you see fit.
So,
Go ahead, Father.
are we certain that we were not, well, apart from the natives, that we were not followed or tracked in any way?
I don't know. Market was the first place I went as soon as we got here. It almost seemed like they were waiting there for me. And whenever they strung that feller up, or if they were even a part of that, they peeled out of town before we ever did. Where did he say that rock was that he was wanting? That little tiny bastard.
Hmm.
I think he did, didn't he?
Did he say that it was at this fucking creek? Oh, that might change things. Because these gals, they seemed capable. That's for certain.
Should we make it clear to them that we are not interested in this trinket?
They also might just be looking for a goddamn fight at this point.
Why would they be looking for a fight? I mean, we don't have any fight with them. And if they're looking for some trinket, they can have it. For hell as I care.
They might think we're after the same goddamn rock.
Well, then all we
No
need
matter-
to do is
no
explain
matter-
it to them that we don't want it.
No matter what our story may be.
You're forgetting, Senorita, the man's capacity to deceive, to fabricate.
Well, didn't you say they were 3 women? Women can be rather reasonable.
No,
Well, I'm in the firm believer to camp that everybody has the capacity for immense fucking stupidity. That's been my experience.
I would not have phrased it such, but Matthias has a point.
we got to cover our tracks and we have got to watch ourselves. Like I said, it felt like an ambush.
Should we?
The way they carried themselves, I know
Well,
what they're doing.
either we handle it here, or we potentially have to handle it later. If you get my drift.
I don't think we're handling it here. They already peeled out of town.
Or did they? Well, if we give them a couple hours, they'll get far enough ahead of us. We don't have to worry about them.
They wait for us.
Well, that's true.
Perhaps we change clothes. We move in a slightly different path.
Well, I mean, this is on some of the wagon trails. We could see if we could hook up with a company at all.
Well, I am
Ever-
remiss to involve people that could be in great danger.
Not specifically drag these folks with us, but I mean, cover some ground with a bigger group. Everyone on these wagon trains is looking for a hired gun.
Yeah, but they might be looking for a hired gun for the whole way. We're gonna just bluff on a trail and
Fair enough.
halfway
Yeah.
through.
We are relatively close to the boundaries of the Sioux Nation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps we make a deal. We hire a guide of some kind to take us through some of the less observed paths or trails.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
I don't know Nebraska all too well.
The problem is, what do we have to offer them?
I mean, I got some coin.
Can pay him if we need to.
And by you, do you mean you or do you mean daddy?
He never said anything about that to anyone.
He's just asking, right?
I'd be the dick.
That's what I'm saying. That he doesn't know anything
Yeah.
about that in character.
Yeah. No. But I mean,
A lot of wealth is inherited
Yeah.
in this setting.
That
Unless
could be
you're
a
like an oil
fair
baron.
guess, I guess. Yeah.
Fair guess,
Yeah.
right? He's just fucking with you.
Maybe shoot him.
Yeah, I can shoot him.
I'm ready. Draw for initiative. Let's go.
all right.
Let's go.
He's got a Lamette.
He does have a
I
limit.
do have
better
a
not.
Lamont. I've got
You
the
better
shotgun
not
ready.
fucking have a mind. I will walk right now.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So it sounds like you guys want to find a guide. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is there maybe there are some instances of some, at least historically speaking, right? Some Native Americans integrating into sort of like white communities and societies, right? Maybe there's already one in town that
So you took the thing right out of my head.
you're welcome.
And there is you can ask around town, and there is actually a Native American woman named Mina who lives in town and has a number of times been hired to act as a guide out in the wilderness. She is a pretty well respected member of the community. She actually has a room at in the very saloon you're in that she will stay in when she's in town. And asking around, you find that she is indeed in town. And you could hire her if you want to, or at least go talk to her.
Maybe if we lead with the sob story of we're trying to find this girl's father, right?
Yeah.
Maybe at the very least a discount.
Maybe. I like it. So who's gonna go try and talk to her? That's my question. Who's gonna go try and talk to her?
Harper is not good with words.
Not a talker?
No.
Like it.
Yeah, in true me tradition, Tyus is not great at persuasion.
Right? Well, father?
I guess I do have persuasion. It's not terribly high, but I can do it.
He's about as personable as a goddamn landmine.
I've got a good old D4.
Ooh,
Me too.
there it is.
Yeah.
Not-
Right,
I-
that
Oh,
sounds-
we've all got D4s.
There it
No,
is.
no, I have the D4 symbol, but it's the one where it's not filled in. So
Oh,
it's
God.
the unskilled one.
Oh,
God.
unskilled. That's
Oh.
worse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
All right. I
Isn't
volunteer.
unskilled you roll and it's half of whatever you get?
No, it's like
I don't
minus
know.
2 or
minus
something.
2. That's
right?
what it is. Yeah. Not good. You can still do it, but you got to explode really well. It's good. Anyway.
Please help us. Ah! Guts fly everywhere.
That's good. That's good. All right.
I'll do it.
You
I'll
head
do
up,
it.
and there's a door, and there's like a dream catcher on it. It's a little stereotypical. Don't judge me. But you walk up, and
Too late.
you knock on the door, and the door opens, and there is a woman, dressed pretty traditional Native American clothing, and she looks up in perfect English, and she simply says, "Where to, and how quickly?"
Battle Creek, as soon as possible.
She takes a measure of you, looks you up and down. Running from someone or to someone?
2.
Being followed? Chased?
Followed, possibly.
Choose on it. How many?
In the party or being followed?
Yes.
There are 5 of us, including myself, on the journey, and there are 4 possibly following.
How many fighters?
In the party or following?
Yes.
4 of us are capable. 4 of them, the whole of our followers, are probably capable as well.
Choose it over. 250 now. 250 when we return.
Let me present your offer to my associates, and we should speak again soon.
He nods, closes the door. Click.
Where am I going to get $250? So I guess Padre will come back downstairs.
So like he's upstairs for like a grand total of like a minute, and then comes back
Yeah.
downstairs. Brilliant.
$250.
What?
Their bank in town has a telegraph.
There is.
We will need 250 now, and then 250 upon completion.
If
Well,
it saves our lives, I'll do it.
Harper goes.
Is he going to get Daddy's money?
Harper comes back.
Like I said, he doesn't spend it on himself, but if he's gonna save someone's life, he's gonna be helping this girl, he'll do it.
I love it.
Why not?
I love it. That's so good.
Harper goes back out to Gemma, his horse. Opens up a saddlebag, reaches deep down into his saddlebag, comes back in, opens up a bandana, just sets $100 on the table, and just immediately just goes, "Don't ask questions."
Don't
Well, this gets us partly the way there. You see that the Padre will like reach into the folds of his robe and pull out $1.75 and put that on the table. And he'll say, "Feel free to ask questions. It's very simple answers."
What's the date in game?
The date in game, it'd be 2 weeks. You left on the second was when it started. So it
Okay,
should
so
be
it's been 2 weeks since it
October, like October 15th.
Okay, I'm assuming the
Happy birthday, Sam.
benefit from the thing comes through on like the first of the month.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
then you got the money in the bank.
So, I mean, realistically, you could very easily go make the wire, pull out the full 500 if you want to, or at least 250 now, and completely cover it. Or you could take Harper's, $100 if you want to. It's up to you.
That's,
Harper just needs to do that.
Your money's no good here.
So, Roy, you would depart,
it's not my money.
go like an hour, like maybe 30 minutes later, you come back, you've got the 250 in hand. Easy. Done.
Well, what makes things simple? I got about $25 in my name. Payday ain't coming anytime soon.
All right, 250. I feel inadequate now. Just go back out to my damn horse.
Roy shakes his head and says, "Boys, I don't want to take your money. I don't want us to die on this job either."
Harper, if you are concerned about not paying your fair share, simply shoot one of the people following us at some point. A fair exchange.
That's
oh,
a photo.
father. Oh, father. There's a lady. There's a blonde with a red bandana that I'm gonna shoot between the eyes. I got a feeling.
Miss Curtis is like, is it really going to come to us fighting them? Are we
Not if we
completely
can
giving
help
up? Well, that's all I
If we
needed to
can
hear,
help
Mr.
it.
Roy. That's all I needed to hear. I'd prefer not to kill anyone that, wasn't already dead.
Hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Nod. And, Santiago, you're able to go back upstairs. I'm assuming you knock. She opens. You present her the money.
I kick the door down. Take your money.
Ah!
No one expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Oh,
Surprise, yes.
Santiago's Inquisition.
I am
She'll look
inquiring
down.
and Spanish, but it's not the same.
She'll look down. She'll kind of just like flip the money, just like look at it. We leave at first light. Boom. Door closes again.
I don't think the others will like that, but very well.
I like it. And I think
Harper is 3 beers in, by the way.
Yeah.
Harper is 3 beers in.
he's gonna be he's gonna be a little drunk in the morning then.
As a note, on the entire time on the trail,
Yeah.
Roy either doesn't sleep for shit at all, or when he does, he wakes up 2 or 3, 4 times a night with screaming night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
So he
Because-
typically speaking, he waits until like 4 or 5 hours once everyone else is asleep to start trying to sleep.
Mhm.
So he normally gets like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours of sleep at night.
Okay. Well, I think our final scene for today's session, I think a good wrap up is you wake up. Some of you have headaches. Some of you don't, and you know who you are. And the woman, Mina, is already ready to go. She's on her horse, like right outside the saloon. Looks like she's probably been waiting for like at least 30 minutes. Like she's been ready to go. And she'll just look at all of you. Just no expression. Doesn't seem happy or sad or anything like that. And she'll just, as soon as you guys are like on your horses, she'll turn, start trotting west out of town. And the last scene is you guys following her as the sun is coming up, and you guys are illuminated, and you guys are heading west, away from Grand Island. And she actually will turn and start to lead you guys into the Sioux territory, just to kind of skirt around it, and give you guys a little bit of a kickstart, and kind of off the trail for a second to hopefully avoid that other group. But as I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we get ready to wrap things up here tonight, boys?
No.
Not at all. Had a good time. That combat was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it'll get pretty quick once we get the swing of it. It's just having played it like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember and like, okay, yeah.
I'm in the same boat, man. I played the original, which I have a copy of over there, and like it's the same basic system.
Which is a little clunkier.
It's a little
definitely.
clunkier. Same basic system though, but it's a little clunky. But once you get used to the drawing thing, and so I can just be like, okay, hearts, okay, boom, and we just go down the list, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay, so spades, boop, 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 and you guys are just like, what you're waiting for, and then we're just like, where you're at. And then I think I like the idea of us putting our cards on the table so everyone sees what everyone else has, so we're all helping each other.
Yeah.
I like that initiative changes every round. I think that's interesting, so it's not just the same thing, and it adds a layer of randomness to it. And
it adds a layer of realism too, because if you could be in a fight, you could be the first shot up. It's like, oh fuck, I got to reload, and you got you got a shell casing that's stuck, or like it's going to change. You're not always going to be the fast, quickest one on the draw.
It's not like, okay, I got a 26 initiative, I'm going first every round, and I'm just gonna the same thing. And I appreciate that. I definitely do.
I was surprised that it's based on suit first, not number. I would assume it was number, and then just because it's easier to remember, ace through.
Yep.
2, and then use the suit as a tiebreaker.
That is the only thing that I find kind of annoying, is the fact that it goes suit and then stuff, because it feels a little jarring. But again, I think 2 combats in, 3 combats in. Hey, okay, who's got this? Who's got that? Easy.
I don't think it makes a functional difference if we just change it either. Like, I don't think it literally makes any difference.
You could. I'll think about it.
Well, you can
I like the combat. I thought it was.
Oh,
it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I actually think we've got I actually think you're right.
Is that how it works?
Wow. I think it's actually counting down from, if I'm remembering correctly, counting down from ace to 2, and then the suits are
Tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Oh, is that? Did we do it wrong?
More sense.
Yeah, I think it's.
That makes so much more sense.
That makes more sense then. I fucked up. That was my bad.
Yeah, because
it's been a while.
I remember when I played it, we all put our cards, we had like a section, and we just, it's like, oh, everybody line up from
so it
tallest
says
to
everyone
shortest.
draws a card, ace is high, and then it goes spades, hearts. Oh, I see it says greater than, so space beats hearts, but you still count down from the top. Okay, I misread it.
Yeah.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Okay,
so it'd go even
that
faster.
actually makes more sense. It does seem more intuitive. That makes more sense. So then I just count down. I go, okay, ace, king, queen, boop, 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 and then it's like, okay, I got a 10. Okay, you've got a 10. You've got a 10. Okay, who's got the? Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes a hell of a lot more sense actually, and that'll actually speed it up quite a bit too.
I remember we would all throw our cards like in one little section of the map, and it's just like you just slap it there wherever you go in the order. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense. Any other questions, comments, or concerns, my friends?
No.
That's
What?
fun.
Had a good time with system.
I just want to say thank you so much to the players for playing. This has been a hell of a lot of fun. I think the story is interesting. And, again, this is kind of going to be like a mini series. I'm not planning to do this for, 30 sessions. I'm thinking probably 5 to 6, I think is what I said originally, to kind of get the story told. And just because I wanted to try the system out, have a nice little story with you guys. But again, thank you to the players for playing. Awesome as always. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. Judas Goat, you definitely helped out that one time. You definitely got the reroll, so it's always a benefit, and we always appreciate it. Until next time, be well, be safe, happy gaming, and we'll see what story the dice have to tell next time. But until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you soon. Cheers.
Reroll killed him.